First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
University of Florida Board of Trustees wraps up its selection process for the next president of the institution.
That's right, Ben Sasse, the sole finalist, is the unanimous choice to become the 13th president of UF and just needs Board of Governors approval. We begin our team coverage tonight with Fareeha Abrar reporting on the action at Emerson Hall.
Not qualified to be the university president of UF, is he?
And on the inside of Emerson Hall, the Board of Trustees interview with Ben Sasse began with public comments.
We as a whole do not want Dr. Sasse as the next president of our institution.
He knows nothing about state-funded universities. We've fallen into the trap.
The University of Florida did not greet the Republican senator from Nebraska with open arms the last time he visited Gainesville, and many made sure to remind him. Both audience members and the board voiced their concerns about Sasse's political background and its influence on his presidency.
It sounds to me it's that way because that's where all the money is at the University of Florida, between donors who donate thousands of dollars to political campaigns and athletic directors who make millions of dollars. That sounds to me like why that would be exempt.
After comments and questions from the board, Sasse was voted in.
And despite protests, public comments, and people voicing their opinions about the selection process, the Board of Trustees did just confirm Benjamin Sasse as the University of Florida's 13th president. Now people are wondering, what comes next?
For some, it's legal action.
UFJU and United Faculty of Florida intend to take legal action to compel the release of this information and to delay the hiring until this
You're done. Thank you very much.
For others, it's as simple as transparency.
We are the ones who are attending the school and actually experiencing the consequences. The Board of Trustees and the President unfortunately have a very detached idea of what is best for the university. They think that they have a better view because they have a bird's eye view, but oftentimes it detaches them from the reality of being a student, the reality of being a faculty member.
Feels sort of like talking at a brick wall, but I wanted to let the entire Board of Trustees know how unhappy graduate students, and I think the student body, writ large, feel.
One common concern among Gators, inaccessibility.
Students obviously at a top 5 university are obviously going to class, they're dedicated to their studies. A lot of people had to make sacrifices to be here. The Florida weather's also not very forgiving on us either, so that's another factor.
I just want the University of Florida to know, I want graduate students, I want the country to know that this fight is not over.
Fareeha Abrar, WUFT News.
Trustees spent time addressing the confidential search process and having a sole finalist. The head of the search said that when they cut to 12 and 6 candidates, none of them wanted their name to come out and not get the offer. He said that the pool at the point was current university presidents and provosts, plus 1 U.S. senator. The chair of the trustees cited a number of other top 10 public schools hiring with a sole finalist.
Protesters rallied outside of the Board of Trustees meeting to show opposition to the process, the choice, or both. Sasse's last trip to Gainesville was interrupted by dozens of chanting students storming Emerson Hall. UF is now enforcing an old policy banning demonstrations inside buildings. Students in violation can face academic discipline. Today, barricades kept protesters out, but it did not keep them silent. Noise shakers and megaphones were used to amplify their message.
This is a public university, this is a public position, and we as the people should have more visibility.
Many protesters say they don't trust Sasse because of his past politics.
And along with learning about the campus community, Ben Sasse will have to learn to work with county and city leaders, some liberal and progressive, as well as a new Gainesville mayor. At our mayoral debate 1 week ago, Harvey Ward and Ed Belarski expressed hope that Ben Sasse will be much different as U.S. president than as U.S. senator from Nebraska.
I know that he had to make votes and get elected in Nebraska as a Republican senator. I'm hopeful that his actual policies do not harm reproductive rights in our community, that they do not actually harm LGBT rights in our community, that he will in fact come here and be good to my alma mater, to the people who work here, to the people that it serves.
As somebody that came into the community 7 years ago, myself, and fell in love with the community and its eccentricities and its values, that the same thing can be said for Mr. Sass. I think Gainesville grows on you. It's a wonderful place. Couldn't think about living any other place but here. So I hope that goes for Sass and his adjustment to a place other than the Midwest in Nebraska.
And in case you missed it last week, you can watch that 1-hour debate tonight on Wuft-TV. It was recorded at the UF Levin College of Law. We'll be rebroadcasting it tonight at 8 p.m. and Saturday at 7 p.m.
And we're 1 week from Election Day, and President Biden is visiting South Florida to campaign for Democrats on the ballot. His first stop was in Fort Lauderdale to deliver remarks on Social Security and Medicare. The president is warning voters that if Republicans take over the House or Senate or both, he believes there will be moves to cut the costs of both safety net programs. Biden originally scheduled this visit for September 27th, but the arrival of Hurricane Ian pushed it back. Now, plans of hosting a fundraiser for Charlie Crist's campaign resumed today at Golden Beach. Senate candidate Val Demings is also expected to attend a Democratic Party rally at Fordham Memorial University in Miami Gardens.
Now, Kennedy, it has been a lot warmer this week. You know, yesterday I got some time to spend at the pool, and I did get a lot of sun.
Wow, that's amazing. I am so jealous that you went to the pool. I can agree that it's been really, really warm.
It has been.
I'm not quite sure why these drier temperatures are, but I think WFT's Derrah Getter can tell us more about these drier conditions. Derrah?
Temperatures are still pretty warm out. Right now we're in the upper 80s. It's feeling a little bit cooler along the East Coast and north of Gainesville. Temperatures there in the low 80s, almost 80 in St. Augustine. Outside on your campus cam, beautiful blue skies out. You can see it feels like 90 degrees and there's a light breeze. That current wind speed is 5 miles per hour right now. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to be cooling down. Temperatures in the mid 70s later on tonight, and our overnight low tonight is going to be in the mid to low 60s. I'll have more on the cold front that we're tracking, as well as the rain that it'll be bringing in my full forecast next coming up. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. An emotional day for Parkland shooting victims and families who will face school shooter Nicholas Cruz today before he is locked away for life without parole. A Florida jury did not unanimously agree on giving Cruz the death penalty. Instead, the court decided on a life sentence as a punishment for killing 17 students and staff at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, a decision that left survivors and families frustrated with a court that spared the shooter's life even after taking those of their loved ones. Many of those affected by this tragedy say they feel the justice system has failed them.
I'm disgusted with our legal system. I'm disgusted with those jurors.
This shooter did not deserve compassion. Did he show the compassion to Gina when he put the weapon against her chest and chose to pull that trigger?
He's allowed to breathe, get 3 meals a day. Where is my cousin?
Governor Ron DeSantis says he is among those who are disappointed by the jury's verdict, so much that he will be pushing to change Florida's death penalty law, possibly allowing a jury to sentence it without a unanimous decision. We're learning more about the developing story involving an attack on Paul Pelosi.
Yep, we've been informed, and we've informed you on who was responsible for the assault, but what charges is he facing? Coming up on WFT News First at 5, you'll be hearing the latest details on the reason behind this violent attack.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. Paul Pelosi is still recovering from serious injuries after being violently attacked in his own home. The suspect now facing various state charges. Investigators say 42-year-old David DePape beat Mr. Pelosi with a hammer after breaking into his San Francisco home Friday morning. Officials believe DePape was looking for Nancy Pelosi, who says she is grateful for the support her family has received throughout her husband's recovery journey. Still, the district attorney says politically motivated acts of violence should not be taken lightly.
So it's something that we have to take very seriously, and it's very sad to see that we are once again at a point in history where people believe that it's okay to express their political sentiments through violence.
Jenkins says the suspect will be formally accused on Tuesday and faces charges including attempted murder and elder abuse.
Well, Alexus, filling up my tank coming here today, it was pretty brutal.
Oh no, tell me about it. I filled up over the weekend and those prices, I paid almost $4 a gallon. Now, if you're wondering why those prices continue to skyrocket, that gas tax holiday did expire Monday, leaving drivers frustrated at the pump. Many stations will be increasing their prices, and economists say rates can spike up by 25 cents. Governor Ron DeSantis says he is making an effort to extend the tax holiday and warns stations about hiking up prices on gas that has already purchased tax-free. Volunteers have gathered to form downtown Gainesville's free grocery store. In 2019, Gainesville residents responded to the pandemic by packing and delivering groceries to families in need. Customers now have the opportunity to visit Civic Media Center and pick up their groceries in person. A walk-up pantry has been offered every Tuesday and Friday at 4 p.m. No ID or proof of income is needed. The FGS donates about 300 bags of food every week throughout the city of Gainesville.
We are one of the lowest barrier pantries in Gainesville. We are a secular organization, like giving out free food, which is pretty rare in Gainesville.
The FGS is searching for volunteers to help pack and ship these groceries. Any residents that are willing to assist can learn more on the FGS's website. Now, it's officially November 1st, but it still doesn't feel quite like fall yet.
I know, I'm really hoping for some cooler temperatures coming into the holiday season. Well, WFT's Derrah tells us what those cool weather may be heading our way.
Right now, we're surrounded by high pressure and dry air. We're tracking low pressure and a cold front bringing in isolated showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. I'll have more on that after the break.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
It's been feeling pretty muggy out lately. Muggy conditions today and tomorrow. We'll be dipping into pleasant conditions on Friday and back into humid conditions on Saturday. Outside on your campus cam, quiet conditions, beautiful blue skies. It feels like 90, that current temperature out 87 degrees. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to be cooling down into the mid-70s tonight, and our low tonight is going to be in the mid-60s, 65 in Gainesville, and as we head further south, warming up by just a few degrees to the upper 60s, 67 in Ocala. We're also going to be seeing fog start to develop along the East Coast early Wednesday morning, shifting south and becoming more widespread, denser in some areas, especially south of Gainesville, and things will start to clear up the later half of your morning commute tomorrow. So 10 a.m. that fog's going to start to clear up. Mostly sunny skies during the afternoon and rain chances developing during the later half of the afternoon tomorrow. High temperatures Wednesday in the mid 80s, 84 in Gainesville. We're tracking several widespread scattered showers around lunchtime in Gainesville. As that afternoon rolls along, that chance for showers is going to persist until your evening commute tomorrow, but it doesn't look like any heavy rain is going to make its way towards Gainesville. Things look pretty dry in our area, and the conditions for rain will start to clear up tomorrow evening. Looking ahead, Thursday, lots of sunshine, mostly sunny. This weekend, we do have a rain chance on Sunday, taking us into next week. A 30% chance of rain tomorrow, as well as Sunday, a 20% chance of rain on Monday. And we are tracking a cold front cooling us down the rest of this week, so we'll be staying dry and cool with temperatures in the low 80s. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. Now the college football playoff ranking comes out tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what the polls suggest. And we'll tell you about a fun night for Gator basketball fans.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm DJ McCrathran. The Florida Gators football team suffered a tough loss this past weekend. Gator head coach Billy Napier was asked about the similarities between his start at Louisiana and here at Florida. He says there is more of a challenge than just learning a new group of people, staff, players, administration, and the community.
You know, typically when you get one of these jobs, you're there for a reason. You know, there's things that need to improve. And certainly it was that way at Louisiana. It's that way here. You know, I think that, you know, ultimately these are all great opportunities, right? I mean, I think these are challenges that you embrace, that you take on, that you look forward to. And there's no shortcuts. I mean, these are things that you got to go through and that you got to do.
The Gators play at Texas A&M on Saturday. The first college football playoff poll rankings come out tonight, and this is the poll that really matters. If this trends any bit like the AP and coaches poll, you can expect that Georgia and Tennessee will be the two SEC teams highlighted in this first ranking. Both teams are unbeaten and heading on a collision course. The Bulldogs and Volunteers face off this Saturday in Athens. Ohio State is another team that is likely to be in the top 4. Other candidates include Michigan, Clemson, and TCU, as they are all unbeaten. The poll will be revealed tonight at 7 on ESPN. The NFL trade deadline ended at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Florida teams made some big last-minute changes. The Jacksonville Jaguars acquired wide receiver Calvin Ridley from the Falcons in exchange for a 2023 fifth-round pick and a conditional 2024 fourth-round pick. The Dolphins also got into the action with 2 trades by the deadline. They acquired linebacker Bradley Chubb and a 2025 fifth-round pick. They also acquired 49ers running back Jeff Wilson Jr. The Florida men's basketball team will hold its orange and blue scrimmage tonight. It's Florida's final tune-up before starting its season a week from today. Next week, they will host Stony Brook in game number 1. The Gators were picked to finish 7th in the SEC this year by a vote of their league's coaches. The scrimmage gets underway at 7 p.m. in the O'Connell Center. Santa Fe High School's volleyball team is one of several area schools that will be in the regional finals action tonight. The Raiders are the defending Class 4A state champions. They will host Bishop Moore tonight at 7 in a regional final. Elsewhere in Class 1A regional final action, Union County is at Osceola Christian, and Glades Day will visit Williston. In a Class 2A matchup, Oak Hall will host Christ Church Academy.
Thanks, DJ. Ruderville Animal Sanctuary hosts a pumpkin smashing party. Local churches donate their leftover pumpkins from their patches to the sanctuary every fall. Volunteers come each year on November 1st to help smash the pumpkins and feed the animals. Ruderville founder Elaine West says the event benefits not only the animals but the community.
This is a great way for the churches to get rid of their pumpkins that they don't need anymore quickly, and it helps the animals here at Ruderville. So we're feeding the animals pumpkins, which they love.
The sanctuary is located at 1208 North County Road 315. It is a permanent home for over 100 rescued animals and opens every weekend and by appointment during the week.
Before we go, one last check on the weather.
Temperatures are starting to cool down already. Partly cloudy skies this evening and a light breeze developing later tonight. Overnight tonight, we'll be seeing a patchy fog lasting early tomorrow morning during your morning commute. The rest of this week will have a 30% chance of rain on Wednesday as well as Sunday, a 20% chance of rain on Monday, and will be dry the rest of this week and be seeing cooling temperatures in the low 80s. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. BBC World News is next, and the PBS News Hour is coming up at 7.
But your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.